11 face-offs today, and he will be number 1 in NCAA history in face-offs taken. And it's a big scramble to get things started off here. Petey LaSala has been great this year, getting the face-off wins with the scoop, the ground ball. Instead, it'll be an opening possession on the ground ball by Scott Bauer for Virginia. Quick pace here, and the opening shot is fired high. That effort coming from Grayson Salade, who Virginia sees as really the top leader of this program.
And Salade, he's been excellent, one of the top short stick defensive midfielders in Division I, so we'll see how his game develops tonight. He'll be busy against a very good Lafayette midfield.
Salade joined by Cole Kastner, Cade Saustad, and Connor Schellenberger among the captains for Virginia. As a dodge here from Thomas McConvey, the Vermont transfer, gets things started off, but Lafayette puts the ball on the ground, and it'll be scooped up by the Leopards. Great work by Jacob Freeman. And a nice way to get things started off defensively for the Leopards.
And huge ground ball by Jacob Freeman, and we'll see if they can clear against Virginia's 10-man ride. Good sign as they get it to their offensive zone here. Don't sleep on the Leopards. They've competed with all the top teams they've played with this season. They should give Virginia a nice run tonight.
And it's a case where both of these teams want to make sure they're in top form. Lafayette's going to have to travel either to Lehigh Navy or Loyola for its Patriot League tournament game, which is their first tournament berth since 2010. Meanwhile, Virginia, they have their second matchup coming up against Notre Dame to close out their regular season, and obviously high hopes for Virginia to make it 3 national champions in the last 4 opportunities.
And this is a big opportunity for both teams. For Virginia, a chance to play on short rest, which they've done to win national titles, and for Lafayette, a chance to really get a nice matchup before the Patriot League tournament.
Great dodge by Peter Lehman. His shot, though, goes wide. Off the roll dodge, Peter Lehman, 27 goals this season, was looking to light the lamp early. Still 19 on the shot clock on the re-entry. And the carry will come from X. Carries over to goal line extended. Little pump and attempt to get something going here for Liam Sargent. Hands free for a skip past 4 on the shot clock. The shot, though, saved by Nunes. Diving effort to keep it. No, it's going to go the other way to Virginia. And Matthew Nunes able to make the save there to keep it scoreless.
And Virginia, Mitchell Whalen closest to the ball when it went out of bounds, so the Cavaliers will gain possession. If you're Lafayette, really nice early possession there. They're not backing down from this Cavalier defense.
Connor Schellenberger, Xander Dixon, Peyton Cormier, Jeff Connor, Thomas McConvey, Griffin Schutz, Cade Saustad, Griffin Kaloji, Cole Kastner, and Matthew Nunes, the starting 10 for Virginia, as this shot goes wide. For Lafayette, it's Riley Sullivan, Peter Lehman, Charlie Kniff, John Mathis, Calman Cram, Liam Sargent, Tommy McGee, J.P. Robinson, as the opening effort will go here for Virginia. We'll get the remaining 2 starters as it's Nico. We'll get the replay here.
And we'll take a look at this play here. I like how Lafayette plays the 2-man game, but off ball, Xander Dixon, one of the best off-ball players in college lacrosse. He's having an excellent season. You got to know where 10 is at all times if you're the Leopards, but I don't dislike how they played the 2-man game. They didn't go back and play the pick with one of their defenders, so we'll see how that develops.
There's a quick shot that's saved, and it'll be picked up by Lafayette. So, yeah, to close out the 2 starters there for Lafayette, it's Niko Yakovic and starting keeper Joe Doherty, as the Ride able to take that one away from Lafayette. Quick opportunity here, and that's finished home and make it a quick 2-0 lead for the Cavaliers. So first it's Xander Dixon, and then off the turnover, they're able to get themselves another quick tally, and that one is from Noah Chismar.
And this is what the riding game does for Virginia. You create scoring opportunities in the unsettled for Peyton Cormier. And if you're going to compete against Virginia, you can't have those types of mistakes in the middle of the field. That's the pro of being a good 10-man ride team. Virginia will 10-man against everybody.
As a correction, it was Cormier with the goal. So Xander Dixon got things started off, and Dixon ranks 2nd in the nation in shot percentage. He's been able to convert on 56% of his shots, and after that, Cormier getting the job done. It was Cormier who helped his friend from college, from childhood, I should say, Thomas McConvey, after 4 years at Vermont, come in, and Cormier and McConvey entered the action today, tied for 4th among active Division I players in career goals scored. So Cormier, 43 this season, got career goal 150. We may see the same coming up for McConvey later today.
And he's been great. McConvey, the transfer from Vermont, in the midfield, 12 in blue. And you mentioned Cormier. He, Schellenberger, Dixon are all playing at a Twarton level production. They have been so good, all three of those guys this season.
Two of them, Connor Schellenberger, the team's quarterback, and Peyton Cormier, listed among the 20 finalists for the Dewardon Award. Here Lafayette, they're trying to cut into a 2-0 deficit. Gets a nice roll dodge for some open space for Macklin Fitzpatrick, but he's going to have to find help from the near wing. Carries that goal line extended, guarded well. Up around the back of Cage, still looking, now firing, and the shot goes wide.
And offensively, they've got good looks on the Cage. Virginia really capitalizing off the ride, so if Lafayette can clean it up in the middle of the field, look for them to inch back on the score here.
Leopards have a dynamic front of their own. They get a good feed. The shot, though, denied by Nunes. That was open to catch and shoot for Carter Cecil, but denied by the sophomore to keep it a 2-0 lead.
That's a great two-man game with Cecil and Lehman right here. He's going to come out and be aggressive on Lehman. He pulls it across his body to Cecil, but Nunes standing tall, getting low. Nice save by the sophomore. He's really come of age this season, doing a nice job.
Shot clanks off the pipe, back the other way. That was from Thomas McConvey, who was trying to follow up Cormier with career goal 150. Virginia does back it up. They have another opportunity here. McConvey passes away. Little give and go, not caught cleanly. And off the scrum, it's picked up by Lafayette as the pole grab from J.P. Robinson.
And Lafayette's really played nice defensively in the 6-on-6 settled sets. We'll see if they can find consistency. They've got a good goaltender in Doherty. If they can continue to give him shots he wants to see, look out.
Long pass here. The help will come from Virginia, though, as the clear is good for the Leopards. 2-0 the score, about 6 minutes in. Some of the players you may see get a lot of action today for the Leopards includes Peter Lehman with the 27 goals. This one, though, denied. And Nunes quickly sends it the other way. Transition, a big opportunity for Virginia throughout the years. Unable to connect on the pass there, though. Eye off the ball for Schellenberger. Rare to see him make that mistake. And it's out of bounds off the Leopards, so a break there for the Cavs.
And Lafayette gets a break there on a sloppy play by Virginia. On the other end, if you're Mathis, I think, yes, he's capable of getting that shot past the goaltender, but you're only down 2. You've gotten some good looks offensively. Got to love your shots, not just like them.
Slide helps out there for Lafayette. Now it's work to McConvey. McConvey driving, looking for a shot, but that is going to go the other way. Really couldn't set that one up to finish, and the Leopards will look to clear against, again, this dangerous ride.
And Lafayette starting to settle down a little bit more. They're a team that likes to pressure ride themselves, so they should be very equipped for this situation.
The last line of defense on this ride's Cole Kastner, the junior from Palo Alto, California. He's considered the linchpin of the ride. Lafayette able to break through here. They'll slow up the pace. He's kind of the guy that can freelance at times and make your clearing opportunities a nightmare. We'll talk more about that when we return. But as we're just past the 7-minute mark, Virginia has the opening 2 tallies. It's a 4-3 shot on goal advantage and a 2-0 lead for the third-ranked Cavaliers. Stay tuned. It's a
yet today against the Leopards. I think Lafayette's kind of given them those opportunities.
Both offenses, honestly, looking a bit to get settled in here at the midway point of the first quarter, but if you're Lafayette, you don't mind taking the pace here late in the shot clock, limit the opportunities, especially for Virginia to use pace.
This is a team that can really go when they want to, but also slow it down and be deliberate.
It's late in the shot clock as the fire comes. That was John Mathis denied on the shot wide. It's 6 on the shot clock. Maybe a chance here, but the Leopards have to go quickly on the restart. Actually, they will actually change the shot clock to 60, so it does count as a save for Nunes and a chance for the Leopards to slow up. They were late there to switch that shot clock.
And if you're Lafayette, be content to go the length of the shot clock.
Flag will go up. We will see an opportunity either for a man up or a Lafayette goal. This will be passed off the stick of Lehman. Roll dodge up top for John Mathis. Mathis attracts attention. Extra passing here to the near wing. Lehman gets by his defender, but a trail check helped to put it on the ground. And as that goes out of bounds, it'll be a man-up opportunity for Lafayette. Alex, the Leopards 48.8% extra man this year. That ranks 6th in Division I for Virginia. They're at 59.2 on the penalty kill. That ranks 55th, but they've faced really a murderer's row of man-up offenses. This is an opportunity against a team that has been good man-up to try to change the vibe here for the penalty kill unit.
Lafayette, they've had a tremendous man-up unit this whole season, almost 50%. They're cooking. And yes, Virginia, statistically, not a great man-down unit, but they've played some really good teams, and they're playing better. But this Lafayette offense has as much depth as there is in college lacrosse, so no different today for the Cavaliers against this offense in terms of competition.
It was a 1-minute slash against Cade Salstad, the Dallas product who has been the most active member of the Virginia defense, statistically speaking. Lafayette in the 6v5. A lot of ball movement, trying to break down the defense, patiently looking for something. Pressure from X. 20 on the shot clock. Skipped up top, and the shot fired wide from Charlie Kniff, who is coming off a huge performance against Bucknell. 4 goals, 4 assists, and surpassed the 100-point career mark.
22 in white. He can sling it.
Oh, how about that pass? Somehow got through, but Nunes with the save. Crashing to win the ball is Nunes. That was a BB pass by Kniff to get that one through.
And Kniff, he threads the needle here to Cram, and Nunes, jolly on the spot, makes a great save. But Kniff, 4 goals, 4 assists last week against Bucknell, so a very balanced player, and his vision tremendous, as you saw right there.
Yeah, he can finish and facilitate with exactly 52 goals and 52 assists in his Lafayette career over 39 games. Back the other way, it's going to be a save from Doherty. Rebound goes the way of the Leopards. Kovic helping out along the way in that unit. And
fantastic ground ball by this Lafayette defense. When you get those ground ball opportunities, you have to come up with them, because if you don't, then it's a potential another possession, another fresh shot clock, and they might wear you down. And you don't want to give the best offense in college lacrosse, 18 a game, almost 18 a game, 17.9, an extra opportunity.
It was Cade Kilbride helping to get the clear to finish up that sequence.
Here comes the potential big little game with a short stick and a long stick.
Wraparound shots denied. Virginia's going to pick it up. Lafayette will try to put some pressure on here, but they'll quickly head back their way, as this Virginia team, they're so good in terms of pace, particularly when they can work their rope unit. You don't want to be too aggressive on the ride, fearing the backside will break down. So Lafayette just gets marked up defensively, and Virginia will have to settle an attack.
I like how this Leopard defense has played odd man situations.
Schellenberger has it up top. Connor Schellenberger, the Charlottesville product, the local product, the redshirt junior who's considered the quarterback of the offense. Started it up top, but it's eventually worked around to Jeff Connor. Connor surveying. He looks to peel off his defender. Looks for a skip pass along goal line extended, but it's off the mark and turned over by Virginia. Early on, turnovers have been an issue. It's 4 for the Cavaliers, just 1 for Lafayette.
And that's a connection you're used to seeing the Cavalier offense make more often than not. You got to wonder, the short turnaround, is it showing its effect early here? But then Lafayette also played on Friday, so both teams playing on a shorter turnaround. So we'll see how that affects both teams over the course of this game.
We don't see it too often these days, the midweek games, but these are ones that really help to test the character. But as you mentioned at the top, Alex, that's what's going to help prepare you for tournament time when you have to win 2 games in a weekend.
And Lars Tiffany talked a lot about that this week. You see it a lot early in the season. You don't see it in terms of scheduling later, and he wants to test his team.
Another save from Nooms, who's been impenetrable so far. The score is still 2-0. It's backed up by Lafayette with hustle after Jack Irish's shot is denied.
And Lafayette's getting good looks on the cage. They just have to be, continue to be deliberate. They've got dudes on this offense.
Pressure is from up top. Irish continues the carry, gets out of trouble, passes behind goal line extended. Wraparound shot here is off the mark from Lehman. We're seeing the Leopards still aggressive shooting the ball, but right now it's just the Matthew Noon show. He so far in this opening quarter of action has 7 saves, and we're not even 15 minutes complete.
He's been really good so far, but the defense is also giving him shots he wants to see.
That's really the big key for this Virginia defense. Their efficiency better than what the stats will show, given the strength of schedule they faced this season. The pressure on here, that's Cade Salstead, and we see what he can do. He has himself 26 caused turnovers over his first 12, has one there.
And that starts with the slide. This Virginia team, opportunistic when they slide and creating turnovers. We saw an example of that right there. That's how they're going to be disruptive.
Just the second Lafayette turnover so far. As Virginia trying to finish up this first quarter with another tally. Cormier tries the shot. That gets blocked. That really ever before it left across. Cormier gets it back. Bit unsettled here. Eventually works up top for Xander Dixon. Dixon guarded by a pole. The shot clock to 35, so still plenty of time for the Cavaliers to operate. Griffin shuts on the carry. Feeds to X. Schellenberger passes away. Roll dodge by McConvey. Attracts a second. Still surveying here. Truett Sunderland's passed it up top. And Dixon with the shovel shot. Sends it home for his second in the opening quarter. It's 3-0 Virginia.
And this is Dixon making it happen. Lafayette, they slid and recovered pretty nicely here. It's just the approach. And Dixon, right to left, goes backhanded. When you shoot at angles like that, it's tough to see as a goaltender, but also you're not really expecting it. So Dixon making something out of almost nothing, as I thought that was decent defense by the Leopards, but this is the number 3 ranked team in the country. They make plays like that.
A season milestone for Xander Dixon. It's 50 goals on the season for the Slim Reaper. He is 6 shy of the program best. Doug Knight's 56 occurred in 1996. It's a turnover here by Virginia. Credit to the Leopards. They concede that goal. They quickly, off the face-off win for Virginia, help to force the turnover.
We'll see if they can get an opportunity here.
On the final seconds, and the Leopards get on the board just with a tick left. Kniff, and the Leopards make it 3-1. Look at this unsettled sequence, the feed.
And it's the middle of the field. Sullivan making it happen, the sophomore from Georgia. 3-1 Cavaliers. We mentioned Lafayette has competed with this team so far. Is that the goal that gives them the confidence to go 4 quarters?
It's a good way to get momentum going as the faceoff not one to close things out. And as we go to the break through 1 quarter, 3-1 the score, the third-ranked Cavaliers leading, but Lafayette maybe some late momentum. When we return, we'll have more from Fisher Stadium.
His first, time of the goal 1 second. The end of the first quarter, Virginia 3, Lafayette 1.
Patriot League is dedicated to the development of the student athlete through excellence.
Obviously, the Nittany Lions having a great season, and so their opener against Penn State, who actually was not. Yeah, this is the 5th game against a ranked foe.
A terrific team. We'll see how ranked for teams like the top-ranked Virginia Cavaliers. So after 1 quarter, 3-1, I think if you're Lafayette, you're in a good spot. Virginia, a terrific team. We'll see how they respond as well.
It's going to be a face-off win, help from the pole for Virginia. Yeah, this is the 5th game against a ranked foe for Lafayette, and that is at time of game. That does not include their opener against Penn State, who actually was not in the media polls ranked in the opener. But obviously the Nittany Lions having a great season, and so battle-tested, this Lafayette team, not just in the Patriot League, but in non-conference games as well. This is another one of those challenges.
And Virginia, they're terrific. But the Leopards have played some of the top teams as well, and they will be ready as they've shown.
Fire from up top is good. Griffin Schutz. He's had an open-ended role to start off the season on offense, but he can do a lot of things. It's his 18th of the season. It's 4-1 Virginia.
And Lafayette going into a little bit of a zone here, and Schutz letting it rip from the outside, gets it past Joe Doherty. He's really having a nice season, 26 in blue, the sophomore. And when you have a stretch shooter against a zone defense, that's the #1 way outside of ball movement to break the zone. So Schutz, the zone buster there.
He now has 12 points in his last 4, 7 goals, 5 assists in that span. Face-off win for Lafayette. Gives him an opportunity to reply to the Virginia goal, but the ride forces the turnover. And the Cavaliers will try to start to push the tempo here in terms of the scoring frequency.
And this is what makes Virginia Virginia. They get these extra opportunities off the ride, and when you give players like Schellenberger, Cormier, McConvey, Dixon those extra opportunities, they're going to make you pay.
Peter Garno passes away. Shot fired off the mark. And we're going to have a penalty here. Did not see if the flag went down. Now I do see it over by the 40-yard line. And so it'll be an opportunity for Virginia to go on the extra man, the 5th-ranked EMO at 54.5%. Lafayette, though, their special teams have been excellent this year. 8th on offense, 13th defensively, 71.9% on the penalty kill this year.
This should be a nice chess match between defensive coordinator Judd Hall for Lafayette and offensive coordinator Sean Kerwin for Virginia. Both do an unbelievable job with their units. Tremendous coaches.
This is obviously a well-coached Virginia team led by Lars Tiffany. The extra man unit gets the job done, and Virginia will make it a 5-1 lead as they get the tally from Xander Dixon, who's quickly to a hat trick.
And Dixon, 10 in blue. You got to know where he is at all times. Lafayette going to press out a little bit and not cover up the inside, and Dixon smooth around the crease. 5-1 Cavs.
A timeout called by Lafayette means we'll step off to a break. 2 quick goals by Virginia in under 2 minutes in quarter number 2, giving them a 5-1 lead from Easton.
Assist number 26, Griffin Schutz, his 15th of the.
Okay, got it.
Ray Magliozzi here. When you need parts, eBay Motors ensures a guaranteed fit. Let's see, you'll need headlights and...
Living life anchors up.
In the nation that have gone the way of the Patriot League. They got another tough one in the Chatham, New Jersey product today, P.D. LaSala. Shot off the mark here. And that's backed up by the Cavaliers, trying to get it from up top on the effort.
And Virginia had to get into their zone offense a little bit there, as Lafayette was in a little bit of a zone defense, or excuse me, they still are in a zone defense. That takes time to get into, so Lafayette slowing them down a little bit.
Schutz passing away, far wing dodge attempt, nothing doing, goes back to Schutz, 10 on the shot clock, and that'll be saved by Doherty. Schutz had a tally earlier from up top. Doherty this time seeing it all the way through for the save.
Good zone offense by Virginia. Schutz steps in the gap created by ball movement, time and room, but Doherty all over it for this team and really having a nice freshman campaign.
Quick turnover, transition opportunity here. 2v1 for the field players. Dixon looking for a fourth, and he has it. Make it 6-1 Cavaliers as the Xander Dixon show continues.
And it starts off the turnover by Lafayette. 2-on-1 in the offensive zone. Schellenberger to Dixon. We've heard that combo a lot this season. All three of their attackmen are playing at an elite level.
Schellenberger is the active Division I leader in assists. Dixon just surpassed the 100 career goal mark with that 7th goal against Syracuse over the weekend. Peyton Cormier, we mentioned, he's up to 150 career goals. This three, it's experience as well, obviously, with the most recent national championship coming in 2011. But these guys, they have just the consistency of elite play that you want to see if you have hopes of winning a national championship.
Yeah, Virginia, the standard in college lacrosse the last 3 full seasons, last three, so they've done a very good job. And elite athletes, elite coaching, elite culture, really.
7-time national champs, 6 of those since 1999, the most in that span. That was after the Bill Tierney-led Princeton Tigers run in the 90s of dominance. Skip pass was almost connected to Lehman, but that's taken away. And here comes a transition unit again for Virginia. All the way on the shot, off the mark from Evan Zinn. He is a player you got to keep an eye on in transition. 5 goals, 5 assists this year for the graduate student who first played at Johns Hopkins. But when he gets an opportunity to either pass or shoot in that transition, things will happen.
Yeah, Zinn has wheels. He can punt, return, clear, and score off fast breaks in transition. Extremely skilled. He's been a nice find for them the last couple of years.
Dixon hoping to hang up the Leopards here. Looking for the guy to win the ball. Off the ball. Has his man, and the finish. It's Thomas McConvey able to get the open spot, and it is career goal number 150, the 4-year Vermont Catamount. He was helped to come over here from Peyton Cormier, and he's fit right into this offense.
And McConvey, 12 in blue. He's going to come off the cut here and take the nice feed from Dixon and finish in front. You see, he doesn't need a lot of time to get that shot off because he lets the ball do the work. He lets the ball bring his stick head back because his hands are so soft. And then he doesn't have to bring it back because the ball does it for him. And then all he has to do is let it rip.
That is the first point of the game for Thomas McConvey. And if you've been following his career, 65 games, he's had a point in each game, the longest active NCAA streak.
I had a chance to watch him a lot at Vermont, and he had a real nice career over there, so no surprise that he's fitting in real nicely here with Virginia.
Open goal, but the shot wide. There's an opportunity there for the Leopards to capitalize. The shot, though, backed up by Virginia. It's going to head the other way, but if you have an opportunity from distance, why not try it?
And that's one of the risks of the 10-man ride. You leave the goal open as your goalie goes to pick up a player. Lafayette getting a shot off, and not sure if Virginia was closest there, but
they're able to somehow get the stop. 7-1 lead with Virginia breaking it open with all 4 tallies so far here in the second. Dodge from up top's not successful for Miezon. Ricky Miezon, the graduate student from Alexandria, Virginia, who also played for the Stanford Cardinal in his playing days.
And his development has been really impressive for this Virginia team. A lot less rust than his coaching staff thought. He's been really terrific.
Dixon, quick cut on the dodge, looks for the skip pass. Ball on the ground here, though, and picked up by the Leopards. Flag will go up on the, I believe, the trail check there, and it'll be a man-up opportunity for Lafayette.
Lafayette, a chance to go extra man. We'll take a look at the penalty here.
Virginia penalty number 50, cross-checking.
Looks like it'll be a cross-check. So he will go to the box, and Lafayette will go 6-on-5 and get their second chance at this Virginia man-down unit.
Ricky Miezon was the one called for that penalty. As you mentioned, Alex, the cross-check 1 minute for the Leopards to try to get their second tally in the game.
And this is a big-time penalty. If you're Lafayette, relax, get into your motions, and get a high-quality scoring opportunity. Because you really you've given Virginia a lot.
They're remaining patient here on the passes, trying to find their opportunity. Penalties down about 20 seconds now. As comes the shot, but it's off the mark. That was a wide effort from Ryan Duncan. They'll go up top this time. Kniff with the shot. Heavy Karam on the save. Goes back to Kniff. 2 poles were right there, but Kniff gets the pass off. One more effort for Lafayette. Another save by Nunes. Another heavy rebound. Goes right back to Lafayette. Nick Muller on the skip pass. That's off the mark. And it'll be Virginia ball. That was a high volume possession there for the Leopards, but a great job in cage.
And Matt Nunes is having an awesome game. He has rejected these Leopards time after time. Wow, impressive from 41 in blue.
That's now up to 8 saves. And again, this is a Lafayette offense that has a dynamic 3 in attack and then depth to go with it. But whatever the Leopards have tried to draw up, the defense have made the shots easier for Nunes to see, and he's making the plays in space.
The combination of defense and goaltending has been nice for the Cavaliers.
Again, that is the right time of year to get things going with how this offense can go. Speaking of the offense, that's another one on the board for the Cavaliers, and it's Cormier with the tally.
And Schutz, 26, he's going to take a run at a short stick behind the cage. He has an attack background, so he's comfortable in that spot, can turn the corner, and does that with ease there to put the Cavs up 8-1. Schutz, very versatile. They've tried him at attack, but really finding a nice place the last couple of years in midfield, in the midfield.
So that was the second by Schutz, not Cormier. I saw 2-4, it was 2-6 with the tally. Looking for another quick one here. Ball on the ground, though. And a loose ball picked up by the Leopards. And so, in this situation, you're just trying to get the next tally for Lafayette to get some momentum here with under 6 left to go in the half. They've been able to defend off of face-off losses, those quick shots quite well, not allowing rapid-fire goal after goal.
Yeah, they've done a nice job. I think Virginia has done an even better job at taking advantage of opportunities that they've either created for themselves or Lafayette has given them through mistakes. So you got to credit the Cavs.
Petey LaSala, 5 of 9 at face-off X. 1 face-off taken shy of tying the Division I record. Dodge attempt around goal line extended for Lafayette leads to a pass. It's been hard for Lafayette to win 1v1 so far today. Lehman passes away, 2 rapid passes. Will fend off on the carry and now cut forward by Calvin Cram, and he's able to get his first on the board as long as they put the hands up, which the officials do, and the score 8-2.
And Cram, the hero a week ago, he's a strong left-handed player, so they're going to give him his right hand. Nice bounce shot, breaks the scouting report, gets the Leopards within 6.
The Maplewood, New Jersey product now has 24 goals on the season. He enters this game with a 4-game multi-goal scoring streak, so he's been cooking as of late. 13th goal in the last 5, and this is a game here, regardless of outcome. If you're Lafayette, you want your top guys in attack to stay in rhythm, get opportunities, but then also maybe add something to the bag like we saw with Cram.
And Cram, a week ago, a flair for the dramatic with the backhanded goal like we saw from Dixon tonight to give the Leopards their first Patriot League tournament berth in over a decade. So he is no stranger to big-time spots.
Again, the Leopards do not know who their opponent is as the shot by Jack Irish comes up top. Nunes with now double-digit saves. Pass, though, quickly given back as Cavaliers unsuccessful in transition.
And Lafayette, they can go different speeds. They can go fast. They can be deliberate. They're getting more opportunities from being more deliberate tonight. So I want to see them slow it down, which is the opposite of what Virginia wants to do. They want to play fast. And why shouldn't they? They're really good at it.
Irish passes away. Quick shot again from Lehman. Unable to get on the board just yet, but he keeps firing at this one. On the restart, the carry from X.
Great stop by Doherty. Here come the Leopards.
What an exciting sequence. As a clear is good for Lafayette. The Patriot League Tournament 6th seed, which will be coming up on the 2nd of May. They will be at the 3 seed in the quarterfinal round. Not sure if it'll be Lehigh, Navy, or Loyola. Those are all 3 teams they've already played on the road. They were losses, but all between 3 and 6 goals. So this is the type of game where if Lafayette can keep fighting against Virginia, against a top 3 team, they're going to be potentially setting up some momentum for that game where the rematch, they may have some better looks than the first time.
And what a game that would be for this community if it was Lehigh Lafayette in the Patriot League tournament.
No doubt about that one. Hesitation and go on the roll dodge diving effort. I think that clanked off the pipe on the effort, and it'll be picked up by Virginia. Get this effort here to try to get a highlight goal from Liam Sargent.
Nice inside roll by Sargent, but Nunes continuing his terrific performance comes out of the cage and gets a piece of Sargent to get him off his line.
Dangerous skip pass, but that one was a bit mistimed. Lafayette trying to win possession. A little push in the back on the loose ball will mean Leopard ball. And now Lafayette will try to break through this 10-man ride.
Couldn't find Sunderland coming up the field. He's really played well the last couple of games for Virginia. Truett Sunderland.
Peter Lehman breaks through. Still looking for that first tally today, the junior from Warminster, Pennsylvania. 81 goals in 40 career games, so he's good on average for at least a pair.
And Lehman, two-time captain for this team. Big-time players make big-time moments in big-time games. They'll lean on 14 a lot the remainder of this game.
Leopards are stretching it out a bit here onto the final minute of the first half. This 8-2 score is misleading of the shot dynamic we've seen so far today between the two sides. Credit to the Virginia defense led by Matthew Nunes. Lehman hesitating. 5 on the shot clock, looks to wrap and fire. That's off the mark. It's going to be going Virginia's way. Not that it matters a whole lot with 3 on the shot clock, but this could allow maybe the transition unit to go a second or two quicker.
Great awareness by Chismar to get a step on this Lafayette offense. Now they'll have an opportunity here.
Timeout will be called before any action as Cole Kastner was charging ahead. Lars Tiffany will call a timeout. 16.9 seconds left to go. And in this type of situation, this is all about practicing what you want to draw up in the final 20 seconds.
And I like the timeout by Coach Tiffany. It's 8-2, but Virginia has not looked as sharp as we're used to seeing them. So you've got 16 seconds. You're playing the possession advantage here as you want to go to the cage, and Lafayette's not going to probably have an opportunity to score. So you're good there. So draw something up, get a high-quality opportunity, and I think most importantly, settle your team down.
And more quality from quarter to quarter.
Of 11, so coming into this game, just the flow of this game, they're right there, but this Virginia defense and Matt Nunes are keeping them off the scoreboard, doing a nice job.
So 16.9 seconds left to go. And Virginia with this offense so far today led by Xander Dixon, 4 goals, 2 assists on 5 shots. Look for one more tally in the half. Pressure on from Lafayette, puts it on the ground. Long pass by Doherty, trying for a transition opportunity, but the ball is just going to roll as the clock goes to 0. Ground ball scoop from Virginia will send us to the half with an 8-2 Virginia lead. And so we will go to break again during halftime report. We'll give you the stats, highlights, and more. Stay tuned as you are watching the Patriot League on ESPN. Youth Day for Lafayette men's lacrosse.
In the discussion of all-time face-off greats. He stepped foot on campus. Virginia.
But a chance for him to make some history here with this face-off and a victory for Virginia.
And LaSala, an all-time great at Virginia, but an all-time great no matter what school.
15-game double-digit face-off win streak, but he has 494 career ground balls, a great career, but a chance for him to make some history here with this face-off and a victory for Virginia.
And LaSala, an all-time great at Virginia, but an all-time great no matter what school you're talking about. This is a guy, an impact player, the second he stepped foot on campus. He's got 2 national championship rings, and if he can get a 3rd, definitely in the discussion of all-time face-off greats.
Well, it's been an exciting one for the fans here today. Community Youth Day for Lafayette men's lacrosse. They get to see one of the top teams, one of the top programs in the nation, and this Lafayette team, although down by 6, battling even statistically in all the other departments in that first half as a shot by Connor Schellenberger goes wide.
And that's huge for these young players in the Lehigh Valley with lacrosse. They look up to these Lafayette players. They're their heroes, so great experience for all around in the Lehigh Valley lacrosse community today.
And that's a turnover drawn. Cade Kilbride able to unofficially force that turnover by drawing the foul against Virginia.
Got to get it over before 60.
Almost the pass that was completed, but good job by Virginia to take it back. This is a big challenge for Lafayette, but you got to imagine whoever they play next, I don't want to say it's going to be easy to clear, but they're going to be battle tested a lot today of passing under heavy duress with the 10-man, and those are some things they can help improve right on the fly for their Patriot League tournament game.
Right here, Schellenberger on a short stick, advantage Virginia here.
Cut and fire by McConvey goes wide. Already tried to back it up, but instead it'll stay with Virginia. Thomas McConvey had one tally in the first half, but good enough for career goal 150. Same with his teammate Peyton Cormier. And is Cormier with it here? No, actually, that's Schutz. Schutz with 2 tallies in the first half.
And all things considered, this Lafayette defense has held its own against this Virginia offense.
Wrap around, Connor Schellenberger able to sneak that one through. He's the quarterback on this Virginia offense, but that time he's finishing for goal number 16.
And one in blue, Connor Schellenberger. It's plays like this that are why he's one of the best players in college lacrosse. No angle, basically. His stick has eyes. His stick has a better angle than his feet. So he's going to wrap around, turn the corner, and beat Doherty on a really low angle, low percentage shot, but that's what makes one in blue, one in blue.
2 assists in the first half, adds the goal here in quarter number 3 to extend this Virginia lead as a face-off win follows. Wipe instead of a slide. Schellenberger passes away. Patrick McIntosh getting involved. He passes away as well. Dixon sends it up top. Schellenberger trying to provide a screen, but the Lafayette defense is there. Cormier briefly having the shoulder down, gives it to Schellenberger. Schellenberger gets a screen. The shot, though, blocked. 18 on the shot clock. Virginia, another opportunity here, maybe. Corey looking for something now, gives away. Skip pass gets knocked down. Alert defense by the Leopards. And that is a good job on the takeaway by number 42, Patrick Tate, as the Leopards now trying to break through the 10-man ride.
And great job by Tate to get his stick in the passing lane and knock it down, and even better job to clear it. But on that possession, you see Schellenberger playing a lot above the cage. He's so versatile. It's not just behind the cage where he's dangerous. It's all over the field, and you can really get defenders uncomfortable above the cage.
It's still working deliberately on offense. Nick Rossi sealed off pretty well as he was trying to get the carry goal line extended. Eventually works it behind GLE, passes away. 30 on the clock for the Leopards. John Mathis on the carry. Didn't have hands free to shoot his pass. Looked like it was there, but eye off the ball for Cram, and it's a turnover going to Virginia.
And just a simple transfer pass. If you're Lafayette, you got to be upset about the fundamentals so far in this game.
It's now up to 9 turnovers for the Leopards, 11 for the Cavaliers. Pass away by Dixon, and the shot sniped home from the far wing. And so Dixon with his 3rd helper, and on the board, Evan Zinn with his 6th of the season.
And this is one of the reasons Evan Zinn is so dangerous. He's in a two-man game with Dixon, and Dixon going to throw it across his body, and Zinn going to let it rip as he fades away from his defender. He's going to backpedal to create space, time and room, 10-2 Cavaliers.
He works as a defensive midfield, Zinn. But now 6 goals, 5 assists on the season, and an 8-game point scoring streak for the graduate student from Westport, Connecticut. Face-off win here for the Leopards. Pressure on from Virginia, but able to keep it. Jacob Freeman gets his pass away.
And Freeman, 11 in white, former offensive midfielder. So he's comfortable with the ball in his stick. He's a threat from defense to offense. He's had some big goals for Lafayette. He'll be key down the stretch in the Patriot League tournament, as 6-on-6 goals are hard to come by at this point in the season for every team except for Virginia with all their high-powered offense.
10-2 the Virginia lead, as again, Lafayette keeping it close in terms of the shot total. Had the first half advantage, but looking for their first shot in half number 2. That finally comes from Lehman, though off the mark. Real credit to this Virginia defense. They've taken no possessions off. There's not a lot of mistakes opening up opportunities here for the Leopards. They're trying to earn every shot here. And that one sniped home. Macklin Fitzpatrick on the board to make it 10-3.
And Fitzpatrick with the lefty laser. Virginia comes off the adjacent slide, which means the defender closest to the Dodger. Fitzpatrick, hands free, lets it rip, paints the post, and puts Lafayette within 7.
The senior midfielder, 3rd goal this season, but 30th in his career. He's another one of those offensive depth options for Lafayette. Quick face-off win and charge, and fire the other way. Petey LaSala makes it 11-3.
And this is what makes Petey LaSala, Petey LaSala, one of the greatest face-off men we have seen. And not all face-offs are created equal. And Petey gonna go right down Broadway and get it past Doherty, point-blank range. He's not your typical face-off man where you can let him take that shot. He gets inside 10 yards, and he can deliver for this Virginia team, which he's done time after time. A huge reason for their success. He's been arguably the most important player for this Virginia team the last 4 years.
And in many ways, really the perfect build for a stud face-off guy. 5'7", 185, but he comes off as thicker and stronger than you'd expect. As another quick tally by Virginia, it's Connor Schellenberger with his 2nd of the quarter.
And when it rains, it pours for Virginia, but that's the energy Petey LaSala gives you as Schellenberger goes right to left in an unsettled situation and stings it. That's the energy. LaSala gives you a goal, and then, okay, all of a sudden, we're feeling good. Schellenberger gives you a goal. When it rains, it pours for the Cavs.
Schellenberger, 2 tallies in this quarter now. 17 on the season. He's over 200 career points, is 124 active leader in Division I. He's still eligible for another year. How about another one scoring, though, for Schellenberger?
And this is Schellenberger's goal, but it's a 6-on-5 situation because of how good Petey LaSala is with the ball in his stick. Lafayette subs the face-off man off, but LaSala goes to the offensive zone, 6-on-5, and then tic-tac-toe to Schellenberger. It's not just what LaSala does with the ball in his stick. That's a goal for Schellenberger, but LaSala is the engine.
Virginia goal by number 1, Connor Schellenberger, his 18th of the season.
Battle here for Virginia 1, another face-off. Again, this was an advantage for Lafayette, 6-5 in half 1 at face-off X. So far in half number 2, Virginia has been able to make it 5-2, but you got to give credit to the face-off man for today, at least what we've seen so far from James Turco. He's been red hot as of late. 2 of his last 3 games featuring at least 20 face-off wins. Been battling good, but it's just a different dynamic when there's that clean win for LaSalle, to really get into the offense. His eye off the ball here from Miazon. He's able to track it down, though.
And you talk about Turco. He's been terrific the last couple games. He's playing like a senior, and for most of this game, he's been terrific as well. It's just LaSalle can get hot so quickly.
It's when he turns that into that next gear that makes it so tough to stop. Schellenberger avoided a crease violation. Do a little bit of tightrope act. Possession continues. Miazon takes it beyond goal line extended. And that'll do it as a shot clock violation. Good work by the Leopards there not to allow Virginia to find their guy by the doorstep.
They've really been good in the 6-on-6 defensively, all things considered, against Virginia. But Virginia, they just score in so many different ways and create chaos in the unsettled.
Open opportunity here. It's sniped home from distance. And a tally from the pole all the way in the defensive half by Tommy McGee.
And great awareness by Tommy McGee. He lets it rip, throws a touchdown pass, and scores for the Leopards. We're within a few here.
The long ball drill makes it 13-4 as we head to break.
Tommy McGee, his second of the season, unassisted, counted the goal 6:29.
Lafayette College has nearly 30,000 alumni. That's a lot of spots on our collective leopard. Each of those spots is like a doorway to new connections and opportunities. Gateway Link helps get those spots together. Gateway Link is the exclusive career network to the Lafayette family. It is the place for alumni to alumni and alumni to student networking and mentoring. Tap into the power of the Lafayette network. Join Gateway Link today.
Came back from Maine, down at the Mississippi River, Whiteface, New York, a lot of ski trips, college basketball games, football games, been everywhere.
Working at Easton Coach for 23 years, I feel there's no other job like it.
With this job, the best part is if you want to go far, you can.
13-4 as this Lafayette defense. Big improvement this year compared to last year. Big reason why they're in the Patriot League tournament. They allowed 36.1% of shots to be goals last year. This year, sub 30, but Virginia, 13 goals on 28 shots, and it's their explosiveness with elite talent that has made it tough for Lafayette to get stops here today as another face-off win goes the Cavaliers' way.
And Lafayette causing a 3-on-3 face-off situation there. They've done that for most of the night with the exception of this third quarter. So if you're the Leopards, you want to keep that trend going in terms of getting your wings involved.
Yeah, PV LaSalle had no ground balls in the first half, only one so far today. Again, this is someone who entered the game 6 away for 500 in his career, over 100 ground balls this year. And again, that helps to get your defense set up better. And when Virginia gets rolling, they really get rolling. So it's something, if you can limit those opportunities of those high energy goals that build a momentum, it's going to help your cause. And it's one of the good things they've done today against faceoffs is the shot fired wide by Thomas McConvey.
But that's what makes him so special of a player, his ability to turn it on at any moment.
Xander Dixon going to take it here. 4 goals, 3 assists today. 9 points against Syracuse. 7 goals and 2 assists, tied a career high from a freshman game against VMI. Good ball movement here to the doorstep, and the finish puts Virginia back up by 10.
And Dixon, known as an elite finisher, but it's his dodging that has improved so much this season. And Lafayette going to slide and tic-tac-toe on the crease.
Patrick McIntosh with that tally. It was Dixon. Now he's not going to get credit for the assist, but the quote-unquote hockey assist found Jeff Connor. Connor finding McIntosh, with his 14th goal of the season.
And that's the Virginia ball movement we're used to seeing. And more importantly, I think for them, that's the Virginia execution we're used to seeing. They've done some good things as of late, but overall, I don't think they're playing at the level that they're used to playing at.
And somehow still find themselves up big, and it's the ability to win in different ways. Scoring in a different ways. Lafayette off the face-off win. They're quickly able to find Peter Lehman for his first today.
And Peter Lehman, 14 in white, the leader of this team. 4-on-3 situation, gets his hands free and gets it past Nunes, who's been terrific. Excellent shot by 14 in white, Peter Lehman. Goals have not been easy as Nunes has been on top of his game. The Leopards doing a nice job of generating shots, but finally get a time in Rumor to deliver there.
Number 14, Peter Lehman, his 28th of the season.
Lehman with 28 goals on the season. Face-off win for Virginia. Do they have a quick shot in them, or do the Leopards mark up? There it comes. Evans in. Quick reply, and his second.
And we're seeing it again off the face-off. The ball movement for this Virginia team. Dixon over to Zinn, and he is dangerous. 0 in blue.
So he has 2 today, Evans in does. It's his first multi-goal effort as a Cavalier. That's the second year there at Virginia.
That's the thing. When you're going against this Virginia face-off unit, you have to really be alert in those situations. They've got guys like Zinn and LaSala who can really handle.
Free bounce to Virginia, falls their way. Truett Sunderland converts. It was awfully close to going Lafayette's way with some momentum, but Sunderland able to get the pickup and finish.
And Sunderland picks up the trash and cleans up for the for the Cavaliers. And Sunderland really starting to play a lot better for this team and really get comfortable down the stretch. Schellenberger did not play against North Carolina a few weeks ago, and you really saw Sunderland really start to get comfortable with this offense. And a few weeks ago against Duke, you saw him really dodge with authority. Didn't really score, but the signs of an elite player are there.
Another one for Virginia. They now make it 9 in the quarter, 8 of their last 9 possessions. Lafayette scored in 3 of their last 4 possessions in this span, and right now no answers for either defense. A timeout will be called by Lafayette, but we see just how this Virginia offense, when they get rolling, they are nearly impossible to stop as a second by Sunderland.
And McIntosh going to thread the needle to the freshman Sunderland, who has been terrific, as we mentioned before, and you see the slick hands. He doesn't need a lot of time to get that shot off. And if Sunderland can get hot, that's just adding to the embarrassment of riches for this Virginia team. I mean, there's a star at every single position offensively.
And it felt like not too long ago, it was like, okay, there's some things that Virginia's doing well that they do every game, but there's other things that didn't feel like they were themselves. Now all of a sudden they've ripped off 9 tallies in the quarter, but 8 in their last 9 possessions, and we're starting to now see just finding their spot, firing.
the skip pass, not getting on the stick side, or throwing it a little too high. Now they're connecting on those passes. And also, you got to give Lafayette credit for disrupting some of that execution on the other side.
Now all of a sudden, Virginia, they have poured it on with this run. And what do you say in the huddle? What do you say player to player here if you're Lafayette, just to stick through this run? Because obviously it can be discouraging, but you still have 19 minutes left of lacrosse. And again, of course, you're trying to use this game to help build up and prepare for the Patriot League tournament game.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And you've got to continue to compete for the whole 60 minutes. There are things in this game you will be able to build on going into the league tournament. And Virginia, they've done this to a lot of teams. And the game's far from over. Still a lot of time to make some plays and feel good. They haven't just done this tonight. They've been doing this all season. This is one of the most talented teams they've had in a long time.
They're trying to get back to the national championship. They defeated Maryland 2 years ago. Then as this shot clanks off the pipe, it was a quarterfinal loss to Maryland last year. The Terps, well, they were just a machine last year. Undefeated national championship year. Virginia trying to get back to that spot this year. And as you've mentioned, Alex, what they can do offensively, had a 25-21 win against Harvard in an all-ranked matchup, 25 goals against Richmond. Here's one for Lafayette. There was a flag down. We'll see if the penalty sticks here. If it's just a tally, but it's another one for Lehman.
And Cram, he's got such slick hands. Right here you see Lehman generate his shot. Noon seeing it, but Cram, if you leave something on the crease, he will find it, and he will put it in the back of the net. As we've seen so much over the course of this season. The game winner last week against Bucknell, backhanded. I mean, this guy on the crease, he's a menace.
Graham with his second. And that will be a penalty that I don't think it is going to stick. It'll be a cross-check called against Virginia. So mentioned the run for Virginia having 8 goals in their last 9 possessions. Lafayette has 4 in their last 5. So we're just seeing a ton of offense run very efficiently and quick work into the offense after the face-off wins, as Lafayette will try to push it here again. Lehman had to reach back oh so slightly, so the Leopards won't push the pace.
And good job by Lehman realizing, hey, let's slow it down here. Let's get into our emotions.
Again, a top 10 man-up unit this season. Lafayette entering the game 8th in Division I. Even had a man-up opportunity where they scored 2 goals in the same sequence. Working the ball here. Patiently waiting for their open man on the 1-minute penalty. Pass gets knocked down. There could have been hands-free on the reception had it gotten cleanly to Ryan Duncan. Action resumes here for Lafayette. Penalty's cleared, but Duncan trying to get the shot off. Trail work there by Virginia, and it's eventually scooped up. That was a great job by George Fulton. Tommy McNeil picks up the ground ball, but how about that penalty kill play from Fulton?
Terrific man-down defense as here comes Zinn.
And Virginia on the board again. They are executing with all cylinders firing in quarter number 3. It's a 10-goal period.
And this goal here in transition, it all starts from defense to offense as he's going to get his hands free and get it past Doherty. That's Will Corey from Charlottesville, Virginia. It all starts with the Virginia man-down unit, and the most dangerous situation is when you go from man-down to all-even. That's when they come through and they cause the turnover. So give them a ton of credit. And then the Lafayette extra man unit, not ready in transition. You got Zinn on the field. He's going to create that transition opportunity for Corey, and the senior having a nice moment here.
Virginia breaking this one open. And what's been a high-scoring third quarter, make it an 11th. In quarter number 3, Ricky Miezon gets on the board.
And Miezon, 50 in blue, former Stanford linebacker, left to right split dodge, pigs the corner on the run, and his development has been tremendous over the course of this season. Talking to Coach Tiffany earlier this week, if that was a few months ago, he might take a few extra steps before he lets that fly, but his development and his ability to knock the rust off after not playing lacrosse for 4 years, it's been awesome. And if he can get better, watch out.
Yeah, really interesting. You think, okay, well, Stanford football player. He wasn't any Stanford football player. He was a 2-year starting inside linebacker, team captain last year, on the Shrine Bowl watch list, had obviously an extra year of eligibility, decides to try out something different, and he could be a factor for a potential national champion down the line come Memorial Day weekend for Virginia, all the way across the country here. But he is an Alexandria product, so he's coming back home essentially and may be able to finish up a storybook year.
And an elite lacrosse recruit in high school, so it's been impressive as he's knocked off the rust.
You got some guys preparing for an NFL draft, which will be in 2 days, and then other guys create a new career of sorts right on the fly. After Miezon's tally, Lafayette has a shot no good, but picking up the loose ball, there is a penalty down. Nick Muller drew the penalty. Shot, though, saved by Nunes on the second effort by Jack Irish. And so we have another opportunity for this Lafayette man-up unit and Virginia penalty kill.
And you're going to see Irish get his hands free on the run. Easy save by Nunes to end the free possession. And if you're Virginia, you got to like what you've seen out of your man-down unit so far. And really a lot of confidence in this unit down the stretch, as if they want to get to another national title, they're going to need it in big situations.
Yeah, they were 55th percentage-wise, going up against the number 8 unit percentage-wise entering this game, but 3 of 3 so far for the Virginia penalty kill. And as we mentioned at the top, be careful reading too much into those stats, because it ultimately comes down situationally which man-up units you're facing. But this is a strong Lafayette EMO, and so far you got to give gold star to Virginia to what they've done defensively.
Yes, the defensive, I agreed. The defensive statistics overall for Virginia, I think, are a little misleading because of their schedule. But also, they're doing this against a very, as you mentioned, a very good Lafayette extra man unit. So they should definitely be proud of themselves so far tonight.
Pat Myers opting to try to hold this possession to the fourth quarter with man up, but they still have 2 more seconds to clear away with the Virginia pressure. It will, though, go that way as Virginia, 11 goals in this third quarter, lead 19-6 as we head to the final 15.
The Car Cougars are going for a 5th consecutive state championship.
Last night, former wide receiver Tillette George was shot to death in the Algiers neighborhood of the city.
When we lost him, it changed our message of our program.
I don't want to release no balloons for no funerals. I want to release the balloons when they graduate, when they go to college.
I love each and every one of y'all to death.
PGA Junior League is a fun team golf experience for kids that the entire family can enjoy.
Boys and girls learn the game from PGA and LPGA professionals and have a great time with friends.
Find your team and get ready for a fun and exciting PGA Junior League season.
No high fives for me? What is that? Come on.
I want to see you out playing in your jersey and having fun. Visit PGAJuniorLeague.com.
As the Stanley Cup playoffs continue on ESPN, anything is possible. So the decorations could get a little out of hand, and a city could get a new landmark. Could the freak flag fly? Could the storm surge? Could it happen for the first time? Could it happen again? Yeah, that could happen. That is playoff hockey. Tonight on ESPN2.
One quarter left in Easton, and this is what's coming up for the Leopards, and it's an open-ended what's coming up. They do know that they have the Patriot League quarterfinals on the 2nd. They will be traveling either to Lehigh, Navy, or Loyola, and then after that, it's win and move on. The quarterfinal round will be on ESPN+, and after that on the CBS Sports Network. We won't know going off the air because the games left to determine are on Friday. Lehigh, who's 5-2, goes up against Loyola, who's 4-3, and then 4-3 Navy plays at Bucknell. There was a goalie change for quarter number 4. Gabe Cummins is in cage for the Leopards.
And you mentioned the schedule. A lot has to happen, but I really hope that it's Lafayette and Lehigh in the quarterfinals. How cool would that be for this community? Having the first time Lafayette makes it in over a decade, it's against their rival Lehigh.
There's one on the board for Lafayette, and you know that these guys would be itching for that rivalry to continue, as this one on the board for Nick Muller, the freshman.
And Muller, he's going to find the soft spot on the top of the crease, and he's going to get it past Nunes. We saw this play in a big-time situation Friday night against Bucknell. So great job by Muller, soft hands, the freshman from Bergen Catholic up in North Jersey, which has been a nice pipeline for this Leopard team.
And we've seen him on the man-up unit throughout this game. And Charlie Kniff with the assist. And so Lafayette now 1 of 4 in the man-up unit. We'll step off to a quick break. We are just about 40 and change into quarter number 4.
Why did we choose Safelight? We're always working on a project while loading up our SUV. One extra push and crack. So we scheduled at Safelight.com. We were able to track our technician and knew exactly when he'd arrive. We could keep working. Safelight came to us.
Hi, I'm Kendrick.
Replaced our windshield and installed new wipers to protect our new glass. That's service on our time.
Safelight repair, Safelight replace.
The Car Cougars are going for a 5th consecutive state championship.
Last night, former wide receiver Tillette George was shot to death in the Algiers neighborhood of the city.
When we lost him, it changed our message of our program.
I don't want to release no balloons for no funerals. I want to release the balloons when they graduate, when they go to college.
I love each and every one of y'all to death.
PGA Junior League is a fun team golf experience for kids that the entire family can enjoy.
Boys and girls learn the game from PGA and LPGA professionals and have a great time with friends.
Find your team and get ready for a fun and exciting PGA Junior League season.
No high fives for me? What is that? Come on.
I want to see you out playing in your jersey and having fun. Visit PGAJuniorLeague.com.
Lafayette starting off the 4th quarter with a man-up goal. They get a face-off win, a timeout, and they'll try to make it 2 quick tallies to begin this 4th and final quarter. Charlie Kniff passes away. Shot from up top, gets through. And that fired home by Ryan Duncan. It's 19-8.
And Ryan Duncan, he's the hired gun on the extra man. You see him here. He's going to step in the gap created by Cuniff, pushing with his feet, and he's going to let it fly and get it past Nunes.
That is now 6 goals in the last 8 possessions by Lafayette. Virginia's run 10 in their last 11. We apologize for the defenders out there watching. It's not their type of second half efficiency-wise, but we are seeing these offenses execute at a very high level. Face-off win for Lafayette to look to keep the early run here in quarter number 4 going.
And Turco doing a really nice job. They had the little stint where La Sala got hot, but overall, outside of that 5 to 6 minute stint, he's played nice.
Another one by Lafayette as they continue to dominate man up after 0 of their first 3. They get 3 quick tallies here in the 4th. It is a 19-9 score. The illegal body check by Mike Prestopino has led to 3 goals.
And nice job by Cuniff to get the defense moving. And Lehman again stepping in the gap. Lets it fly. And this extra man unit has erupted. And they're not going to go quietly.
Quick face-off win. James Turco charging ahead. Cuniff still looking. It's still 6v5 for now. But this has got to feel good if you're Lafayette to be able to get 3 goals in 1 man-up run here.
There's been stints here where they've really played elite.
Finally back to a 6v6, and you know, you're up by 10, you're Virginia, and I still get the feeling Lars Tiffany will have something that the guys will need to work on after a strong start with the penalty kill. To allow 3 goals in 1 run there is something that they're going to want to work on.
Yeah, he's definitely going to have some good film to dissect after this, especially going into Notre Dame on Saturday, which is going to be a huge ACC tilt.
That is more than going to wet the palate, I would say, between those 2 teams in the ACC, as the finish there by Calvin Cram makes it 4 in as many possessions to start off this quarter.
And Cram, he is automatic on the inside, and then Cuniff makes the extra pass to Cram, who takes the extra step to greatness to increase his angle. Great job by 44 in white from Maplewood, New Jersey. I mean, there's 12 minutes left, and there's no quit in this Lafayette team, even down by 9.
Took fewer than 2.5 minutes to get 4 goals in the quarter after a face-off win. Virginia has the ball on the ground. Lafayette picking up the loose ball with Nick Rossi here. They have the momentum. But Calvin Cram, a hat trick. He now has 5 consecutive games with multi-goals. He's averaged 3 goals in those 5, 15 in the span, and he's getting hot at just the right time for the Leopards. This offense, the way that they've shown the fight here to start the 4th quarter and get this team rolling, it's got to be a big sign for maybe what's to come on May 2nd.
And Virginia, they've got 19 goals, but they've done that to everybody. So like you mentioned, they should definitely feel good offensively and counting, as there's a lot of time left.
I'll say this, we haven't yet gotten into it, but I will ask you, there's the open date in the Patriot League. Lafayette's open date is the final weekend. Pat Myers opting to schedule Virginia, obviously, is a big one, but to have it Tuesday where you're going to have a full week to prepare for the next game, where whoever you're playing is playing on Friday. How do you have eyes on that moving forward, springboarding to how this game finishes tonight into the week to prepare?
I think if you're Lafayette, it's all about us. It's all about the Leopards. I mean, yet having the extra rest is great, but you don't know who you're going to play. You can't control who you're going to play. They've played every team in the Patriot League tough. I think you just focus on yourself and bringing it on Tuesday, whoever it is.
Any advantage with the extra rest, or would you rather have that game more recently to keep the momentum going.
Oh, I think it's definitely an advantage, especially with Lafayette, a chance to potentially get some guys healthy and things like that. So, absolutely.
Miezon trying to shoulder away his defender, and how about sticking up Connor Bogorowski there? That is a former standout linebacker for Stanford, team captain, and you're taking two shoulders against him and sticking it through.
Yeah, 6'2", 235 going up against 5'9", 180 right there. Great defense by Bogorowski.
Number 47, David Roselle, now in goal for UVA.
Skip pass. Pass by Miezon's off the mark. There is a goalkeeper change. David Roselle is on for Virginia, and a chance to see Roselle, the senior from Charlotte. Gonna date myself here, almost saying young man, but it is actually going from sophomore to senior for Virginia in Cage.
And Virginia's got a talented goalie room. They've got so much depth at every position. So good to see him get some reps here.
It is a fourth quarter that has seen all four tallies by the Leopards. Trying to make it a fifth in a row. Irish passes away to the far wing. Lehman shoulder down. Passes away. And if you're Virginia, you're focusing on finishing this game strong. They have some other guys seeing some action. You see the pull of Malachi Jones, the freshman from Owings, Maryland. Chismar, the short stick defending here. Lafayette keeping it close here in terms of how they're holding the ball, but now finally the ball on the ground, and there is going to be a hold called against Virginia. So that's a fresh 60 for the Leopards.
Let's take a look at the replay here. Kastner going to get caught in between the free arm of Cram. If he pushes off, they might have been able to call Ward on Cram, so I think Lafayette gets away with one potentially there.
Shot fired wide. Kastner, he's mentioned as the linchpin of the ride, but a player that can get active 6v6. Last year had 32 calls turnovers and 22 of those in the first 6 games. He was absolutely dynamite as a sophomore. He's carried that over to this year. Fake on the pass. Now skipped over to the far side. Lehman dodging, looking to finish, but that's out of bounds on a deflection. Backed up by the Leopards. Lafayette keeping the shot volume up today. Defender down for Virginia. Lafayette trying to take advantage. It's a save, though, by Roselle. And he'll pick it up, try to keep it inbounds, and he will.
And Lehman coming up the hash in a nice two-man situation. He's capable of making that shot. But you got to think, maybe try to work for a little bit better of a shot there.
Virginia now into attack. Getting to see some of the other players in this deep offensive unit, the likes of Will Enderlead is on with Tim Myers. Myers, a freshman from Charlottesville. You got a lot going from St. Anne's Belfield, led by Connor Schellenberger in the local product room. Myers, the freshman here, guarded by the long stick, passes away. Sunderland, the freshman, gives it back to Myers, who fires but a save. Heavy rebound from Daugherty. Stick on the ground, picked up by Lafayette. Cummins, with the save. We did mention he did come on for Daugherty. Apologies there.
And these are the situations, if you're Lafayette, you've given Virginia all night in terms of second chance opportunities, whether it be in ground balls or off the ride. You can't give those opportunities to a team as talented as UVA.
Yeah, after Jacob Freeman took it away from Tucker Mullen. Right back to the Cavaliers, who were trying to make it 20 on the evening. It would be their third game with 20 plus, although they've had a few 19-goal efforts, including the last time out against Syracuse when they beat the Orange 19-12. Also a 19-12 victory against North Carolina and Towson. So all 3 times they've scored 19. It's been by a touchdown plus extra point.
And they dominated in those games. This Virginia team, as talented as there is in college lacrosse, and when they're clicking, it's scary. And the thing about them tonight is not as sharp as they've usually been.
They're able to get one here with hands up to confirm the goal by Will Corey, who has himself a nice showing in the second half today. That's going to make it his second.
And Will Corey, 14 in blue, just going to throw it down to Sunderland and then cut to the cage in a little give and go situation. And the Lafayette defense falling asleep there, and good off-ball cut by Corey, and Sunderland doing a nice job to get him that ball. And that's a combination.
Number 14, Will Corey, who's third of the season, second of the game.
Sunderland at attack. That's been nice. That's been pretty nice in this second half.
Sunderland 5'11", 160 from Baltimore by the way of Calvert Hall. And so 20-10, that was the score in the meeting last year in Charlottesville. It's the score now here at 5 and change left to go. Miezon, honestly, I'm still amazed at what Connor Bogorowski took 2 shoulders from Miezon. A lot of highlights in this fourth quarter, although the outcome seemingly firm in hand for Virginia on their way to their 10th victory. We've seen some interesting plays here in the fourth. Both of these teams fighting it out. Loose ball pickup by Virginia, but Cummins to stuff it with the save.
Excellent save by Cummins. An opportunity that was seemingly in Virginia's hand, and Cummins rejects them at the front door.
Will Corey was denied. That's the second save for Cummins after 4 by Doherty. Most of that over the early stages of the game when it was just 3-1 through the first quarter. Again, it took a while for both of these teams to warm up offensively. How about that check, though, to take out Jack Irish? I believe that was Drew Brenfleck getting the job done. And Brenfleck from Mountain Lakes, New Jersey, more of a local product than a lot of these Virginia players with a highlight play.
And this Virginia team has a nice lineup of New Jersey and Pennsylvania players, so great opportunity for them to come close to home and for their families to see them play. And Virginia, a lot of alumni in this area in Philadelphia and New York City as well.
Likes of Jeff Connor from Wallingford, PA. Mentioned Brenfleck, he's from New Jersey. Griffin Kaloji from Chatham. Nice save there again as Lafayette makes the stop.
And Cummins seeing the ball really well so far as he's come in relief of Doherty.
This time it was Tim Myers denied. And so back and forth we go. So far a single tally in this fourth quarter for Virginia. But after that run of 3 man-up goals off of 1 penalty, there was a fourth added by Lafayette. We have seen the offenses die down, but after a monster run by both sides in terms of offensive efficiency, we had the 10 goals and 11 possessions by Virginia combined with Lafayette's 8 goals in 10 possessions. So in that span, 18 goals and 21 possessions. It was a true delight offensively to see what both teams did.
And both teams have had their moments. And Lafayette, there's a lot you can take away from this game, and as well as UVA, I think. They didn't bring their best stuff off the bus, but still found a way to score 20. And that's what good teams do. They find ways to win, and in this case, dominate when they're not as sharp.
There's a drive and finish. Jack Irish on the board to make it 20-11.
And Jack Irish, the freshman, this is one of the reasons why he's been a starter since day one this season. He's going to go down the alley, get a step, slide doesn't come, and the bouncer. Going to get them to 11.
By the way of Malvern Prep, Jack Irish with his 7th tally of the season from Berwyn, Pennsylvania, was All-America underclass by Under Armour in 2021. And Malvern Prep, when he was there, ended up being peak rank #2 nationally. So you know what, Irish knows a thing or two about being among the best. Skip pass, bit off the mark there, trying to go tic-tac-toe after the face-off win. So Virginia getting aggressive but unable to get the job done there. Mac Eldridge had the face-off win. Tommy McMill the ground ball.
And they're going to need Eldridge to really come of age here in the second half, as they need to keep Petey LaSala charged up and ready to go. So don't be surprised if you see Eldridge sprinkled in there to keep 23, the engine of this team, healthy and fresh.
LaSala highlighting the career milestones that were achieved today by Virginia. LaSala becoming the Division I face-off leader in terms of all-time face-offs taken. Peyton Cormier, Thomas McConvey each got to 150 goals in their career. Xander Dixon passed 50 on the season and had 4 today. He is 4 away from tying the single-season program record for goals. Meanwhile, for Lafayette, they have 11 on the board here today. Charlie Kniff, 4 assists. Calvin Cram, 3 goals. Also, a good bit of work here in the second half from Louis Ballo, having 3 caused turnovers, putting his hat into the ring of standout players today. Dixon, 4 goals, also had 4 assists today for the Cavaliers as we're into the final minute of action here.
And for both these teams, and speaking for Lafayette specifically right now, everything they want still right in front of them.
Yes. They're going to be focusing on that game next Tuesday. They're going to, I would think, rest and recover, have the opportunity to focus on their game, and then they'll enjoy whatever happens Friday night and then start prepping for whoever they have to face next Tuesday.
Well, Coach Myers, he is as relentless as they come in his preparation. He will have his team ready to go when it's time for playoff lacrosse here in Easton for the first time since 2010. It's an exciting time to be a Lafayette lacrosse fan.
There's a shot clock violation as Lafayette will have one last chance in this 4th and final quarter to get something on the board. Pass is going to be batted up and no good. And that'll do it as Virginia comes away.